Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and today I'm about to talk to you all about a brand new exciting adventure game where you'll be moving your body in order to... Thought I'd get further than that. Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and yes, indeed, I am going to be talking about Ring Fit Adventure today. I'm not going to be doing it like that, Christ. So yes, at the request of Nintendo UK, I went down to the old London place where they had a preview event for Ring Fit Adventure, and I played it. And I'm going to tell you all about it. If you don't know what Ring Fit Adventure is, big ring. That's all you need to know. It's not, but let's just pretend it is. So yeah, if you don't know, it's a fitness game where you use this thing and this thing that goes right next to your sensitive areas. And you basically play a game that is quite heavily fitness focused rather than something like Wii Fit where it's very... Yeah, what was it? It was basically, it's an application. You use it to get fit. You will do this. And there were a few mini games and they were all right, but you know, it really was. This is an application to improve your fitness, and that's about the size of it. I think it was well presented, but that's how it was presented. It was never sort of trying to be a game. This is. So I played it for best part of an hour, give or take, and I played a little bit after getting back as well, because well, clearly they gave me one. So this is going to be early impressions. Don't consider this a full review or anything like that, because it really isn't, because I haven't played it nearly enough to give it a review. When it was revealed, I was intrigued. I thought, actually, this could be pretty good. And now that I've actually played it, I can say that actually, yeah, it is actually pretty good. I did a bit of the adventure mode. I did a little bit of, not entirely everything, because there are some really cool things that they haven't even really mentioned. But yeah, I did, you know, some mini games, and I looked briefly at some of the, I suppose they're more sort of just like fitness challenges, kind of closer to Wii Fit and stuff like that. But even then, still not enormously, but mainly it was the adventure and stuff. And hey, look at the adventure mode and look at the voices that you can thankfully turn off. You could just pick this thing up and just use it as a fitness application, kind of like Wii Fit and stuff like that. But let's be honest, if you're watching this video, it's mainly because you're interested in the adventure mode. And I played the adventure mode a fair bit, not like extensively. This is why this is first impressions. I've done this. So the basic idea is that you're running around this world. There's the evil, I can't remember, is this guy? I can't remember what he's called. Draugon? Yeah, Murray, put some text on the screen. And you got to traverse this world, and you go through different stages and stuff like that. And the way you do it is that there's no simple way to do it. If you want to traverse through a stage, to even just move, you got to do this, baby. And so you'll be running around and you'll be like using the ring, and you don't have to like steer essentially. It's just, you know, you run on the spot. You don't have to follow the path per se, which I was initially a little bit disappointed about, because I thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool to explore like this big open world, open world, you know, open expanse, these large wide open spaces. But no, you're on a single track. But to be honest, given what the, you know, game is going for, that kind of makes sense. I mean, like a side mode where you could just run around and explore an area, that would be really cool, and you can maybe like steer using this. That would be pretty cool. You go down these straight paths, you collect things, you can jump by going like that and stuff like that, and it's all about doing this over and over again, you know, so you blow gusts of air and you can suck stuff in by going like that, and that is actually surprisingly tough. The whole thing, like I'll talk about the Ring-Con later, but yeah, it was actually... You know, it was actually surprisingly fun, and whilst I thought, you know, it's going to be very sort of simple and everything, it's straightforward, but I wouldn't necessarily say it was simple. A lot of things like, you know, sort of, when I got into the game, I've been playing games for God knows how long, and I was able to jump in, and it's like, you do this to jump, you do that, and I was like, okay, and the controller and everything, the Ring-Con was responsive enough that I was just able to just go, okay, poof, and I was getting all the jumps and getting all the stuff that I wanted. It was really good. The aiming was a little bit more difficult, but I think that's more a perspective thing than anything. And yeah, that was pretty good. But that's not all you do. You get these fights as well, where you're fighting these enemies, kind of semi-Pokemon style. It's more just sort of turn-based RPG, I suppose. Actually, probably closer to something like the Mario RPG series, because you also have, I'll get onto that later. God, there's a lot to talk about. So in order to do the attacks, you've got to choose an exercise to do, and these can range enormously. You can have like, you can do like, ooh, and I'm not doing this well. You've got like different exercises you can do, and they range enormously from just like doing pulling positions, like lunging forward and holding positions and doing reps, and you have to do them quite a lot. It's not just you do it once and then move on. You have to do it like, well, it varies enormously, but you know, often like 12 times. You know, you sort of do that, and then that, and that's just one, and then you do it again, and then again. And there's also other things like, you know, you've got to pull out like that and then release and then pull out and release and push in and release, and sometimes you've got to sort of, I can't remember, you got to do like yoga poses and stuff like that, and it's pretty bonkers. And nice little touches. You can also, when you're defending, you've got to do that. You've got to like press it in. I mean, I'm going to do it up here. This is much higher up than it would be. And you've got to like hold it in like that. And you sort of think, oh, that's easy peasy. And the fact that I'm resting it on bone is easy. When you're actually doing it on your abs like that, you've got to like hold your breath properly and make sure that your core muscles are good there. And any wavering like that, I mean, that's exaggerated, but any wavering means you'll actually take more damage than if you did it properly. Did that mess up my mic? I've got to say the battles are really good, actually. It's ridiculous to say it, but it is like a normal RPG style game, you know. You have different enemy types, and they have like, well, you have different kinds of enemies, and they each have types, and you know, strangely, the color that they are is the sort of the color of the exercise that they're weak to, because they're all separated into categories, and different exercises are different types, and yeah, so there's type advantage and stuff like that. And it's really bizarre because there's a lot of variety going on, more than I would have really expected, to be honest, because most, you know, you look at it and it does look like something that's designed to be a casual experience. But the RPG elements, whilst they're not crazy complicated or anything, but it's more than I expected. Absolutely. Like, you have, as I said, the type things, then you got different enemies that can heal other enemies and they will do other things, and enemies can sometimes have not so much status effects, but you know, sort of enemies can become worried or something, or tired, and then they either sort of are basically out for the count until they get some energy back, or they can be healed, as I said, by another thing, like there's this mat thing, and it'll like go underneath them, and then they'll be like, I'm energized again! And it's absolutely bloody bonkers. It's very difficult to describe without actually describing it. I like the leg exercises, I'm good at them. And the accuracy in which you've got to like do the things, like do all the exercises and stuff, it's just about right, you know, sort of. It can tell if you're completely flummoxing it, but at the same time it's not like majorly like, particularly, you've got to do it and, oh no, you're 1 degree off, that's not going to work, or anything like that, or you end up doing less damage, because depending on how well you do the exercises, like, if you're doing a squeezy one like this, and you go, whoa, and you're shaking about the place, it's not going to be as good as if you do it really smoothly, like that. And it's easy to do that to begin with, but then when you're doing 12 reps like that, it's surprisingly, you surprise yourself how bloody hard work this game is, because it really did actually take it out of me a little bit. I mean, it wasn't out of this world, I wasn't absolutely panting and out of breath, but that's because I set the difficulty to what I wanted it to be, plus a little bit extra because I'm very competitive. And I was puffed out, you know, like, it wasn't like I could just walk away. I had to do like they wanted me to like talk to the camera afterwards, and I was like, well, I'd done that once or twice, okay. And I had to give myself a minute to properly like get my breath back properly in order to be able to talk properly, as if I'd done really quite a decent amount of exercise. It's not like it's not gonna kill you. It's not like going out for a 5K run and, you know, the most exercise you've done in the past year is bending over to pick your toes. But it's actually a fun little thing, you know, and I did actually enjoy it, and I'm actually, I want to go back and play it, which is more than can be said for Wii Fit. I tried Wii Fit U a number of years ago, and I did it because I wanted to do something, but I didn't want to I didn't want to leave the house, basically. I think I discussed this last time I talked about this when we were just looking at the trailer. It took quite a lot of convincing and self-control to actually do it. Whilst this, because it's a game and because there's like progression and there's different worlds and different levels and stuff, I want to go back and do it, and there's no real sort of mega cheaty way to do it. There's there's buttons up there, but you can't use them. You've got to jog, even if you're only doing it lightly and you do set your own, you know, levels and stuff like that. So if you do want to make it a mega light and you don't really want to do the exercise, you kind of can, but you're still going to be doing something a lot more than you would be if you were just playing the lovely game of Super Smash Bros. However, something they didn't mention in the preview event thing, which I think is actually a massive deal, and I can't believe they didn't mention it, is the fact that there are some things you can change in the options certain exercises. For example, certain exercises that maybe you are not physically able to do for one reason or another because you have limited mobility or something like that. You can actually turn them off and say you're gonna, well, not turn them off, but use buttons to do them instead. Which is, I mean, you could argue that it's open to abuse and that some people are just gonna play the game like that, but you know what, who cares if they're gonna do that? That's not the point of the game. But for people who genuinely want to play this game and do get some physical exercise in, but maybe, you know, do have limited mobility, you can do exercises that you physically can't do just using the buttons. That's massive. But there's not only that, but there's another really cool thing where, in fact, can I do it here? Because I'm pretty sure, let's zoom in using the old-fashioned technique. Now I believe if I click this stick in, hey! There's a speaker in here? I've not actually done this yet, but basically what you can do, I'm gonna move back. You can, while you're doing other things. This is like, my Switch isn't on at the moment, but that's like connected. It's got 4 lights and everything. This is kind of like, I can't remember what the hell it's called. Murray, more text. And basically what you do is if you're watching TV or something, you wanna, you know, sort of just, it beeps! Listen to this, I'm gonna do a squeeze and you can hear it. So basically, if you like doing, you know, watching TV or something, you can do various exercises like that. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's beeping each time and I can hear it just about. It's not loud at all, but I can just sit and do that, and that's getting some exercise in, and it will actually register that in the game. So you can do anything. You can go, does it work with an outie one? It does a different noise for an outie one. It's not a massive thing by any stretch, but the fact that it's there, I can feel the rumble as well, which is another good sort of indicator. But you can do it on your shoulder like that. You can, I mean, it's only the squeezing thing. I'm pretty sure it doesn't actually take anything else into account now. It's only squeezing stuff. So it's like that. Or maybe I suppose you can do that or against your abs or something, or ribs in my case. But you can do this without actually running the game. That's pretty cool. I mean, I'm not going to take this outside, but if anything, I just enjoy the beeping. I haven't even talked about the minigames. There's minigames as well. They're kind of cool. They're ridiculous and out of this world and surprisingly tough to do. They're good. I like them. I've been talking way too long. So yeah, Ring Fit Adventure. It massively surprised me, honestly. I thought it would be fun, but again, I would sort of lose interest and I wouldn't really be that sort of eager to get back into it, and time will tell in the long run. I really can't, you know, I really don't know whether it is going to be something that I do regularly, but right now, I mean, especially because I'm holding the damn thing in my hands, I never talked about this, the build quality is very, very good. And there is some electronics going on in here, as we heard earlier with the beepings. Or is that the HD rumble? But there are definitely some electronics in here. There's no way the Joy-Con could get all that, and also there's like an active connection, and yeah, I was told not to open this or reverse engineer it. Someone at NOE knows me very well. But yeah, those are my early impressions. Honestly, it's a lot better than it has any right to be. It's going to be really interesting to, you know, give it even more time and then see what it's like later on. But right now, I've got to say, I mean, even if you were to just take the sort of the exercise bit out of it, I mean, it would be a relatively basic game, but it wouldn't be a terrible game by any means. You know, if you could just control the whole thing with buttons, it would still be pretty enjoyable. And the fact that you're doing all this movement as well does actually increase the enjoyment, because it does kind of add to the immersion and stuff. Yeah, God damn it, Nintendo, what have you done to me? But what do you think? Do you think it's something that only synthetic humans are going to enjoy after a while? Let us know with your thoughts down there in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you that subscribe button and be sure to check out nintendolife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye bye. regret this.